Well, hello there. Welcome back to Fables Den. This is Kim, and I cannot do a British accent. And if you're British, I'm very sorry. Anyway, I'm wearing a high ponytail. My hair's finally long enough to be put into a high ponytail. I'm just looking forward to the day where I could just wear a casual bun at the top of my head, the casual Sunday look or whatever. I'm just really looking forward to having a bun. In this video, I want to share with you or talk about, or rather I want to invite you to go on a journey with me. We are going to traverse the pandascapes. We're gonna get behind the bamboos and we're gonna meet the pandas from the four suits of my panda deck. We have the Panda Tarot. We're gonna explore what each element or what each suit could mean through the lens of Panda. You know, we're gonna take a look at what their personality is like, what they care about, you know, what does it take to be a fire panda, what does it take to be a water panda, and also just I want to talk about how I sort of concepted each element through the context of tarot, in the context of tarot, well obviously in the context of tarot, but kind of just through the lens of pandas. I want to talk about how I kind of came up with how I wanted to define each suit and explore and portray the pandas in each suit. So yeah, obviously we're gonna start with the Fire Pandas. I don't know why that's first, but I guess it's like the first element. But we're gonna start with the Fire Pandas. We're going to the Fire Panda Kingdom. Yeah, so this is a very interesting suit to concept because originally I really had trouble with the fire element and how it's going to be expressed in this deck because pandas don't seem to be very active. And by active, I mean like when you think about fire in the animal kingdom, when you think about animal archetypes or animal totems that are typically associated with fire, you wouldn't really think of pandas. You wouldn't even really think of bears. I feel like bears are more airy and earthy. But when you think of like fire type animals, you would probably think about lions, cheetahs, salamander, foxes, you know, animals that are really fast, that have a strong predatory instinct, that have a strong dominant presence in the animal kingdom. So those animals are typically associated with the fire element, and if you're looking into the fantastical realm, you might associate fire with dragons, obviously. So it's like a very ferocious element when it's translated into the animal kingdom, and I just find very difficult to really portray fire in through the lens of panda. Like, what does it mean to have a fire panda? Like, what does fire element to look like? Pandas just don't seem to have a very fiery vibe, to be honest. And I was just like, I remember having trouble with concepting this suit. So, you know, like having that said, I decided to do some research, and by research I mean watching hours and hours of panda videos on YouTube. That's considered research, guys. So I kind of just like observe them and look at how they behave, and also just look at the natural descriptions of what it means to be a panda. And I concluded after some legit research, pandas, even though they're not very predatory or they're not very fast, they're definitely active. You know, they're always climbing, they're rolling around. I know they eat a lot and they sleep a lot, but they are kind of active in their own way, and they also are very playful. You often see panda cubs, they're just kind of like running around, they're playing pranks on each other and always like getting into cute trouble with their caretakers. So I think there's this playful element that's very fiery. It's not like an aggressive type of fiery, but it's definitely very, you know, like pandas are very playful, they're very curious, and they're always down for like the next adventure. So I think there's the spirit of adventure there, but it's definitely not, you know, like aggressive, like dominating, instinctual, like raw fire animal prowess or something like that. So that's definitely not the fire I'm going for. I don't think pandas have that kind of fire, but what I did find was you know, their fire is very like a gentler kind of fire. The fire that they have is definitely one of curiosity. It's more about, you know, their sort of the excitement to explore, the excitement that they get when they play, you know, the sense of play, the spirit of play, and also which ties into like the sense of the spirit of creativity, which comes from essentially like a place of play, and I find that very fitting for pandas because that's kind of how they interact with each other when they're in a fiery mode. And I think fire can also depict a kind of courage, and not the type of courage we normally expect and we normally portray. Like the type of courage that I'm reminded of is you know, I was reminded of the tale of Despero. You know, he's like a little mouse, but he has his own epic narratives, and then from a human perspective, a little mouse may not achieve a lot, but within the framework of his story and within the framework of his character, he actually achieves a lot, and he has his own epic story. So that's kind of like the vibe I wanted to go for when it comes to the fire element. I wanted pandas to be very curious, very playful. I want it to be reflected in the deck, and fire pandas are kind of, you know, they kind of take on that spirit of being playful, excited about the next adventure. They're kind of like little rebels running around and then causing trouble, but not like harmful trouble, if you know what I mean. And also, I would just like to point out that pandas are not as lazy or as weak as we think. Pandas can weigh up to 100 kilograms. That's in metric. I don't know how to convert that into pounds. I mean, I grew up with metric system. I don't know why North America uses pounds. It's just a little rant, but but yeah, pandas are actually not weak, you know, like according to my research, not hours and hours of cute panda videos, but pandas historically were actually used as war animals. They fought alongside some of the more ferocious animals like cheetah or wolves or something, like back in ancient China. I forgot the exact details, so don't quote me on that, but they're pretty strong. If you look at them, they're really big, like they're pretty strong. They're just not aggressive. They're just not warlike. I mean, I think they have the potential to be aggressive, I guess, but you know what I mean. Like it's not that. That's not what they tend to represent, right? Fire pandas love to have fun. Right, they love to be playful, they love to be excited, and they're always on the go. They love to have fun. So I think fun is like the key fire spirit or fire element in the panda archetype, and that's what I really want to communicate. So that's kind of how I sort of found the fire element in pandas. And then next, I want to talk about the water element. And water element was really, really easy for me. I think it's because I'm a strong water element, so anything that's water element it just comes really easily to me. And for the water element in pandas, I knew right away it's going to be the adorable part of them. You know, pandas are very sweet, they're very cute, they're very adorable. If you look at the legit research footage on YouTube, you see like these panda cubs. They're just like, even grown pandas, they're just like hanging on to their caretakers. They want their attention, they want to express how much they love them, they want to hug them. By them I mean their legs, and they want to disrupt their chores around the zoo, and it's just very, very cute and endearing and adorable. And I feel like the water element sort of just, that's the water element in pandas. And if you, I mean, of course, like when I was concepting these, I wanted to make sense in the world of tarot, and water typically is usually associated with love, emotions, relationships, connections, spiritual connections, intuition, etc. So in the context of Panda, I think it makes sense to sort of explore love and explore relationships through the lens of being affectionate, being adorable, and being very childlike, being really sweet, being sensitive. So that's kind of how it fell into place. Like I didn't really have to think much about the water element in pandas. I kind of feel like it just really came. It just kind of came through naturally, and I feel like pandas definitely have a strong water element, and I think they have a strong earth element as well. And fire element is like, it has to be kind of reinterpreted, and air element as well. But you know what I mean? Like water was really easy. Like it was just like, they're loving creatures, they're adorable, they open your heart, and then it just like, they're super approachable. And you know, that's water pandas. Water pandas, very sweet, they're very affectionate, they're very sensitive, they're very inner childlike, and they're very cute. And they wear their hearts on their sleeves, and then they're just like adorable. You just want to hug them, right? So that's the water element. Next, And when it comes to the air element, this was another element that I kind of had to think about, air element, think. And the air pandas are very interesting because what they ended up being, like what they sort of became, or how they communicated themselves to me was, you know, when I was writing the booklet or the guidebook for this deck, the air pandas, they all sounded like very British for some reason. Like they're very like polite. They like to have a nice decent conversation. They love a good debate, and they're very witty. They kind of want to, like, they like to poke fun at you with like a dry sense of humor. So they just ended up sounding like very British. And yeah, but you know, like going back to like the, you know, if you look at the suit of swords or the element of air in tarot, like for example, especially in Rider-Waite, the element of air, like the quality of air is very cutting, right? It's about setting boundaries. It's about communicating your stance. It's about communicating your truths. And sometimes ideas clash and arguments start. So air, like the sword, it's not like it's a very compelling and drama prone energy. If you look at 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords, shit really goes down in the suit of swords. So I was like, how do I capture that? You know, I wanted to capture the tension and the competitiveness of swords, and also just you know, that clash and the stress that could come with this overwhelming energy of swords. How can I capture that, but through the lens of pandas? Because pandas are very sweet, right? That you don't really, it's like not, it's not really immediate in their nature to be stressed out about things, because they're just so in the moment, and especially with all the philosophies and doctrines and ideas that they tend to be associated with, such as the Tao or the Way, Buddhist Zen, etc. It's just not a very conflict prone, you know, like pandas are just not very conflict prone. So I was like, this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, so like I said, they kind of just end up being very British for some reason. Like the air pandas are like a gentler version of the swords energy. Like they're very introspective. The air panda still loves to engage with ideas and loves to communicate their ideas and explore their identity. They love to mull things over, think about things, and like you know, like the feeling that they give me, like, is that they're kind of British. They're really posh, they're really witty. I mean, there's obviously, that would be a general statement. I'm sure there's different types of British people, of course, but it's just being like kind of the stereotypical like British person. If you're British, I'm sorry. And you know, they're very, like, air pandas are very polite, very formal, they're witty, they like to crack jokes and like to poke fun at you sarcastically, and then they tend to use dry humor. I don't know why, but that's just kind of how it happened. They can be a little snobby, but not too much to the point of being too egotistic, just enough so that they're still cute when they do it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's sort of like, that is the air pandas. Let's see what's left. Earth Pandas. So when it comes to Earth Pandas, probably the easiest. Just same with water. I think pandas have strong water and earth energy, and when it comes to the earth, the suit of pentacles or the earth energy, pandas, it was easy. I was like, immediately I knew that in this suit I wanted pandas to be eating. There's gonna be lots of eating, and there's gonna be lots of bamboos, and there's gonna be some Eastern imageries like red ribbons, or like the little golden dumpling thingies that attract fortunes, and there's gonna be some of that, and some you know, umbrellas, fishermen, like very like you know, some of just like little hints of like Eastern aesthetics. So I knew immediately that, you know, this is gonna be in the suit of earth and suit of pentacles, because if you think about it, like if you study into Chinese culture, or if you're Chinese, if you're familiar with Chinese culture, like Chinese people are very, very earthy. Like a lot of values in Chinese society, I find, are very earthy. Like it really aligns with a lot of the values from earth as an element, as a symbol, etc. So anyway, that's just like, just just an observation. So yeah, I knew immediately, like in the suit of pentacles, pandas are going to be eating, and there's going to be lots of bamboos, and then they're going to be eating, just eating, just munching away, just nom 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 nom, which makes sense for the suit of earth, because suit of earth is about like resources, and when it comes to pandas, obviously their most important resources, they're bamboos, and then that's what sustains them. And earth element is suit of pentacles is also about sustainability. So I knew there's going to be lots of eating, and eating is going to be sort of like this metaphor for sustaining yourself, getting busy with their tasks, being productive. I know they're eating, but you know, for them it's being productive because they needed to sustain themselves. So it's about working conscientiously. I know conscientious doesn't seem like a word that would go with pandas, but in a sense they're kind of conscientious. You know, they're working really hard to eat all those bamboos. So I just wanted to use that as a metaphor. It's like if you get the card from the suit of pentacles in this deck, in One of Panda, it's like, you know, just work hard on the things that really sustain you, that you enjoy, and that brings you more resources, etc. Because obviously when you eat food, your body gets sustained and you can do more things. So yeah, I know it's kind of like a weird substitution or like a weird scenario, but you know, like sustenance, right? I think it kind of makes sense in that way. So I knew Earth was going to be about being conscientious, productivity, eating, sustaining, etc. So that's sort of like what the Earth Pandas are like. Earth Pandas are very hardworking when it comes to eating. They care a lot about sustaining themselves, self-care, right? And they are also very patient, very like down to earth, very practical. They're just like, I help you, you help me. That's how Pitado. So yeah, that's Earth Pandas. That's the pandas in the 4 element, or the 4 elemental pandas. Sound really cute and cool at the same time. So yeah, let me know which one is your favorite. Like water and earth are easily my favorite because I feel like those two are my strongest element. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to follow more if you want to follow more on, you know, just follow the deck and any news or updates about the deck, make sure you subscribe to the Panda specific email newsletter called Behind the Bamboos. That list is just for this deck, like you know, because I didn't want to have, yeah, I didn't want so that list is just for this deck, so make sure you sign up for that, and you also get like a free gift, so you know, you don't want to miss out. Okay, and I guess that's it. If you have any questions about this deck, please leave it down in the comments below as well, and I will get back to you ASAP, probably soon, because I check YouTube like all the time. But yeah, until next time, keep calm and carry on, or shall I say keep calm and panda on.